Stop.
All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Performance Seminar. Okay. And we've got, okay, Vihan and, okay, it's Devin and Briella, right? Okay, Devin,
Yeah.
Briella. Got Vihan. And I see I've got another student on my program, but I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Gavin shows up and Gavin will show up. All right. Okay, I think we are recording. Yes. All right, and we've got our link in there. All right, let me see. So we've got 3 people here so far. We've got a 4th person that may be on the way. Everyone, please check that you've got your original sound enabled. And then when it's your turn, tell me, tell us the name of the piece you'll be playing, and I'll put up the music for everyone. And then whenever you're ready to start, you can go. So it looks like, Devin, are you ready to start us out here?
Yeah. Oh,
all right.
Briella has to go to school, so she.
Oh, okay. So Briella's going to start us out. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna be playing Snake Charmer.
All righty. All right. Nice work. Great job there. Good job, Brielle. All right. So what, as you were learning this piece really quickly, I know everybody's got to get through everyone. But as you were learning this piece, what was the trickiest thing to deal with as you were learning this?
Probably my right hand was the hardest, and remembering to go up, like after.
Oh, remember to transfer up the octave. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were, right, there are a couple, you stay with this set of notes, right? It's always this set of notes in your right hand. There were a couple points in here when you moved up. Be sure that you're checking the contour, the shape of all those notes here, right? And it can help thinking like, so here, think about your starting note and your sort of landing note of each of these, right? So here, notice the starting note is different and the landing note is different. And then here again, you're back to here, right? So I think that can help you if you kind of scan while you're playing, right? Think of your, what note am I starting this on? What note am I ending this on? That helps instead of looking, whatever the very next note is the entire time, which you still need to do. That makes it a little easier for your mind, though, to think about in performance, right? Because as long as you end on that note, then it's okay, right? And sometimes that'll help your fingers kind of work out what you need to do before that. Does that make sense? All right. But yeah, nicely done. Great job with that. Thanks, Briella. All right. And let's move on to actually, so Vihan, are you ready to play? So we'll give Devin a chance to switch on here.
Yes. Well,
all right.
The screen because I don't have the book.
Oh, okay. I will share my screen. Let me see if I can get it. Here we go. All right. And what will you be playing for us, Bihan?
Sleeping Beauty Waltz.
Nice. Okay. All right. Great. Nice work, Bihan. Okay. Yeah, so this is I imagine that this is probably tricky because you're dealing with, the B flats and the E flats, but you did great being consistent with all the notes that are in there, even though some things are changing from black keys to white keys. So as you what was the I'm going to ask you again. So as you learned this, what was the trickiest kind of part of learning this?
And I went like, see, when it went like this, I went like, that's
Oh yeah. You mean at the very end there? That part? Just remembering to get that
And I
E
thought that was
flat.
E flat, and I thought that was E flat.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So I think overall you were doing well. I think I want you to try keeping a slightly slower tempo, actually.
Wait, I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear my 1 second. So when you play, I think we could take a slightly slower tempo. Right? So you bum, 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 bum. So that you are really able to so that you're able to make some of the quicker hand shifts in time. Can you start that one more time? And I want you to feel it. You start out with these quarter notes, but I want you to feel, even when you're not playing all 3 quarter notes in the measure, I want you to still think of those quarter notes happening in your head, right? So here, 1, 2, 3, bum, 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 bum. So keep those quarter note pulses happening in your head, even though you're not actually moving on every one. Can you try that? Just maybe the first part of this one more time. Good. Yeah. So that was a lot better. So yeah, Vihan, that sounded a lot more secure to me. Before, I felt like you were kind of rushing through some of the longer notes when we should really, have those expand out. So yeah, just take some time to relax. And you knew you were playing the notes very well, and the articulations, everything. So just take some time to breathe and relax, and remember to kind of feel the pulses inside those longer notes. So you're making sure that you're taking enough of a taking enough time for those longer notes. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, that sounded a lot better when we did that. All right, and let's move on to Devin. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm playing Sonnet 16 C major,
Okay.
measures 29 through 49.
Oh, measure. Okay, sorry, you said measure 29. Oh, so
49.
you're playing the second. You're playing like the second part.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm playing the second.
All right. Whenever you're ready. All right. Great. Nicely done. Okay, Devin, can you tell us a little bit about how you tackled learning this section of the piece?
So I just well, the one part that was difficult for me was like the 31 through like 30, the 31 through 33, because like you have to like chain all the notes together. So
Yeah, right. So it's yeah, it's a chain of.
while I was playing one part, I was like looking at another,
Mhm,
while I was playing the left hand, I looked at like the starting note for the right hand, so I
mhm.
can transition smoothly.
Yeah, and it's all right. It's these changing, the scales are changing, the notes, the specific notes are changing in each hand. So yeah, it is a little tricky to get the next hand ready while one hand is playing, and it's already tricky. Yeah, so you did really great. Um, Something I really liked was the pulse was very consistent throughout all of these sections that you were just talking about, right? So the all the 16th note parts. Now,
Yeah.
one thing to be careful about
Okay.
is you had a great you had a great sense of pulse when you come out into this part right here at measure 42. Make sure that you stick to the same tempo that you set into during all these 16th notes, right? So even though same thing we just talked about with Vihan, right? So even though the 16th notes are not playing, you need to hear that 16th note sound continue underneath these rhythms, right? So if you're going this fast, right? So that the 16th notes as fast as you can go with those 16th notes, that sets your tempo for the other parts of the piece, right? Now I'm sure as you practice this more, you're going to get more comfortable with the 16th note, so it may go a little faster. But remember to gauge the rest of the piece off of the 16th note parts, because those are the hardest, right? So even, and this is when you play through this whole movement, right? When you play through the whole piece,
Yeah.
when you go to start the piece, don't just think of how the beginning, don't just think of how that sounds good tempo wise. Think ahead to the 16th note parts and be like, okay, how fast do I want to play those 16th note parts? Because otherwise you're going to get yourself into a jam where you're like oh yeah, it sounds nice at this tempo, and then you're right. So you're gonna get boxed out of how fast you want to play those. So in order to keep the tempo nice and consistent for the listener and for yourself, right, make sure you continue to think about that 16th, whatever the 16th note pulse that you've set is, make sure that syncs up with the parts with larger notes. Okay. But really nice. Yeah, that was sounding really great, Devin. So all the imitation between hands was really nicely done. So thanks. All right. And welcome, Gavin. I saw you come in. So we've got one more person. Gavin, are you ready to play for us?
Sure. Sorry, I just woke up.
No, you're okay. And you've got your, do you have your original sound on for us?
That's a good idea. Wait a minute.
It's tricky on an iPad. Hold on.
Yeah. I might need to rejoin.
Oh, it's okay. I can figure out how to
I
turn.
might need to rejoin. Does this have any?
There's a way to set it. You need to set it in the home screen, like before, like not in the video screen. You
Like
set it on the,
when you join Zoom?
yeah, you don't even need to do it before you join. I think you can change it right now.
No,
So
meeting settings. Oh, I don't have
like on the home screen.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm gonna try something.
Okay. It's just in more and then meetings. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I guess he's gonna try. So we can hang out here for a second. I know y'all may need to go, but I'll wait for him to go here. Here he comes back.
Oh, here it is.
All right. Hey, Gavin. Okay. Do you think you have it figured out here?
I'll be playing it memorized.
Okay. And now you also, so make sure you turn it on in the meeting now as well. You can go down to the bottom of the screen and like go all the way to the right in that menu, and there'll be the 3 dots. Then there'll be a button to turn it on, hopefully.
Yeah. I'll be playing this memorized.
Okay. All right. I'm going to show the music. You don't have to look, just so everybody else can see it.
Sorry, my D does not play.
Oh, that's okay. It came. All right. Very nice, Gavin. Okay, great work. And that was from memory, so really nice job. What was the most challenging thing about memorizing this?
Probably just remembering the exact order of everything, because it's so repetitive like this.
Yeah, they've got a lot of common chunks, right?
It's the exact same thing, but you just add an A flat in there somewhere. So
Yeah.
you need to remember this one's the A flat at the second measure, and this one's the A flat in the fourth measure, and then this one's just the regular one, and this one's the, and then I have to remember, and then you have this. And also, I completely missed the dynamics at the end, but
Oh, that's okay. I was gonna say, so I could hear I thought your dynamic shaping was very nice. So one thing I think that helps sometimes keep your memory straight, like you're saying, is as you get along in other pieces, think about, instead of thinking measure by measure,
think about line by line.
yeah, well, line by line, and that's, if the printing of the music is if they care about that, then
Is it more like section by section?
yeah, more like, and so we'll say phrase by phrase, right? So that's one thing to think about. So notice in this part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Is one thing.
we have kind of a phrase that goes all the way to here, right? So da na 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 na. So if you notice here, and I don't have a ton of time. So you have this idea that happens twice, right? And then something different happens here.
Mm-hmm.
4 measures, right? We continue, and then we come to kind of a little breathing point. And this is kind of a little, right? You have the eighth notes that are a link. But this first 8 measures is one phrase, right? So that's our unit. Where this might help memory-wise, like you were saying about the A flat, where we embellish, where we get a little bit fancier, is when every time you play that phrase once and then you repeat it, this little extra stuff happens the second time you play the phrase.
Right.
So
Yeah.
some, as you get more into these, longer pieces like this,
You needed to know that.
something to think about, right, is see if you can map out how the music is unfolding in phrases. So that's nice kind of a medium length unit that you can use to make a mental map of what's going on, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can keep working on that as we move forward. But I think that can kind of help clear up some things in your memory as you're going, right, and make it a little bit easier to navigate. Okay.
Holes in my memory. I'm just wondering. I wasn't looking at the music, so I.
No, yeah, your memory seemed it seemed great as you were going along. So you worked hard. So we're trying to make it more efficient when you memorize, right? So you don't have to memorize every single measure by measure. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And thanks, y'all. Thanks everybody for coming. Great work playing. I will see y'all next time you play. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. See ya.